Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning, and I am going to make scrambled eggs, Gordon Ramsay style. If you've never tried these kind of scrambled eggs, then you have no idea what you're missing. Scrambled eggs are something that I won't eat really anywhere else unless I make them at home or someone makes them this way. This is a fabulous way to make them. They're creamy, they're rich, they're amazing, and so many flavors and stuff. So let me get started with you. I've already done some of the prep work just to make this a quick video. I have somewhere I have to go. So I'm going to show you my ingredients here. Right now I've got some onions just sliced up, half an onion. I had huge button onion mushrooms today. I have about 3 chopped up with a couple shiitake. I have 1.5 cloves of garlic already minced up, and a half a clove just sitting here whole and with peeled, and a little bit of parsley. Usually I like to use a little cilantro or something like that, but a fresh herb, anything like that is fabulous. Then I have some really sharp yellow cheddar cheese, grated, and you can either use creme fraiche, you can use sour cream if you want to, but I really like using the plain whole yogurt. This is a Balkan style. It's really rich and creamy, and I use it for everything. I even eat it just raw like this. It's my favorite thing. So you can use this, or you can use creme fraiche is really what the recipe calls for. But I'm going to show you how to do this. So right now I'm going to take you over to the stove, and we're going to get cooking. Okay, so you can see what I've got going on here. All right. So right now I'm going to throw in my onions into my saute pan that's already been preheated with some olive oil in it. And the onions are the hardest thing that I'm going to be cooking. So that's what I'm throwing in first. I slice them very, very thinly and uniform so that they will cook quickly and evenly. And as soon as they start looking a little bit translucent and like everything's working out really nicely, we're going to throw the mushrooms in and get them going. Basically what you're doing with this meal, it's kind of like a brunch thing. You could even do it for dinner. You'd really enjoy it. I put it on a piece of some kind of amazing bread. You can use brioche, you can use garlic toast, you can use something like that, or whatever you want, whatever you have, rye bread or whatever. Right now, today, I'm using a piece of fresh Italian bread. I've sliced it in half because the pieces are like that big. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to toast it. I'm going to rub that extra garlic on the top of it. You're going to make your eggs and your onion and mushroom mixture. You're going to put the eggs on top. Then you're going to put the vegetables on top, and you're just going to use a fork and knife to eat it like that. It's going to be amazing. It's it's probably my favorite breakfast on the planet. Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. You're awesome. This is a whole new way to make scrambled eggs that you probably have never used before. We're using a saucepan, pot I should say, and what I've done is I've put probably a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. The olive oil is going to raise the temperature. You're not going to burn your butter that way. And I'm going to throw these eggs in here. Your eggs, what happens once you put the eggs in, you kind of have to babysit. So you're going to want to prepare like I did beforehand. Let me turn this light off. I see it's blinding you guys. So, that's better. So you're going to have to babysit it the whole time because you're going to have to stir it constantly. The pot is on a very high temperature. I have it on almost the very highest heat. And what you're going to do, I've already got my eggs. Here, look, I'm going to show you. I've already got them open. Make sure there's no shells. That's an easy way to do it. Put it in a bowl and you can see. A really good way to get the shells out if they do fall in, it's kind of like a little magnet. You use the rest of the shell of the egg that you've broken it out of and put it close to it. I know sometimes you've probably used your finger or a spoon or a knife or something like that, but it's kind of a pain to get them out. But if you use the egg shell itself, it attracts it to it and takes it out much easier. All right, so I'm just scrambling these in the pan. The pan is very hot. The pot. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it on and off the stove. If you feel like it's getting too hot on your eggs, you just move it over. But you have to keep them going. you can't really stop, not for too long, because they'll get stuck on the bottom. What you're trying to achieve is a really creamy texture. You may be a little worried because you're used to the old way of doing scrambled eggs, which is they end up being like little hard, moist clouds in a big frying pan, right? And it's a little bit drier. This is very creamy. You may be a little nervous thinking that they might not even be done, but they're definitely done. And I'm going to show you how you know. Right now, I'm going to throw these mushrooms back in, or into the pan. You can use a variety of mushrooms. You can use wild mushrooms. I really like the shiitake. The button mushrooms are nice because it's a little bit more neutral for breakfast, maybe. But I like to jam-pack flavor, as everybody knows, and I like my shiitake mushrooms. You want everything to kind of finish at the right time, so it's kind of like you're racing against the clock slightly. Wish I could show you this a little better. Let's see if we can do that. Whoa! All right. So that's a good angle. You may not see me, but that's okay. It's about the food, baby. Okay, so I've got the mushrooms and the onions in. I just want them to go a little bit fast here. These eggs are going nicely. So they're starting to coagulate and get a little bit thicker, but what you want to do is keep it a consistent mixture and keep it creamy. They're going to be nice and soft. I'm going to turn back on my toaster oven for my 2 pieces of beautiful fresh Italian loaf, because you want it just toasted enough so that you can get that garlic going on the bread. Let's throw the rest of the garlic in here. Since the minced garlic pieces are so tiny, you don't want them to burn in the pan. So I like to put my bigger ingredients in first, especially if I'm going fast. See, I've taken the eggs off. If you can't pay attention, you might want to take them off. You just don't want them to go too far. So you're just going to continue with this. You're going to use a spatula like this, a heat-resistant spatula, instead of one of those flippers or turners or a spoon or something like that. You want to use one of these because you can scrape the bottoms and the sides and make sure that you're doing what you got to do. So you just don't stop. You just keep going. I used 5 eggs for this. I can eat lots of this. It's one of my favorite things. You may not want to eat that many, and you might want to make more. So I did probably make a little too much of the onion mushroom, but that's okay because that tastes good with everything. I'm going to switch sides again with you guys. Better. So, I did mean to ask you guys if you like the new format of the website, cookingwithkimberly.com. I just put a new theme up. I think it's more functional and pretty. And I hope you guys do leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. It's youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And on Twitter, it's twitter.com/cookingwithkime. A capital E. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. Hope you like the fan page. There's a lot of people that chat, and I forgot about my eggs a little bit while I'm chatting too. So you don't want big chunks, is really what you're not looking for. You're looking for a much nicer consistency. Very smooth. And I did exactly what I told you guys not to do, is leave it on there. That's okay. It'll all work out. So we still have a moist mixture. It's a little bit wet. You can tell that it's cooked, however, and you're good. So we're going to move over here now. I'm going to bring you with me. to finish this. My bread should be pretty much done. I had already halfway toasted it. What you want to do is you want to put your cheese in quickly, stir it in, and melt it into the hot eggs. You can use whatever cheese you like. I've used blue cheese, I've used gorgonzola before, I've used all kinds of cheeses. Just depends on what you have and what you like. I like very sharp, very flavorful cheeses. It would even be cool to use like a Guinness cheddar one day or something. That would be kind of cool too. So now that you have that mixed in, you're going to put 1 dollop of the creme fraiche in, or yogurt or whatever. Again, I use that kind. And you're going to mix it in. Stir it in, which makes it even creamier. Cools down the mixture slightly. And if it does cool it down too much, so just pop it back on that element to heat it back through a little bit. I'm also going to put the fresh herbs in at the last minute, just now. And I'm going to season. As you can see, I haven't seasoned anything. If you season with the salt at the beginning, you're going to pull out a lot of the moisture of the egg, and you're not going to get exactly what you want. So use your salt sparingly with eggs, and use it at the end for the most part. You probably could have put the pepper in whenever you wanted to. I like lots of pepper, don't mind me. At this point, my mushroom onion mixture is pretty much done because I sliced everything quite thinly. I like lots of pepper. I use a little bit of sea salt, special Himalayan sea salt, just because I like it. And you're going to stir it all up. And that's what you got, a beautiful creamy looking mix. Now it doesn't look anything like it. People might turn their noses up until they taste this. So I'm going to show you here too now. I'm going to create my plate. Sit tight for 1 second while I grab my stuff. There's my toast. I did put a little bit of cayenne pepper in my mushrooms and onions because I just like them. If you have a little bit of white wine, you may even want to just put a little bit in, deglaze. Not sure if we have any, let me check. Nope, I don't have any on hand, but it works very well and it's very tasty to do so. So here's my toast. Simple, easy, you just toast it. It's that big Italian bread. So you're gonna take that clove of garlic that I showed you, and you're just gonna rub it on the top like this. Gently, because it's gonna impart a lot of flavor. If you're gonna be kissing someone for lunch, you may not wanna eat this, or you may wanna cut down on it, or you may just want to mince it all up and put it in with the onions and the mushrooms so that it's not so pungent. So voila, here's that. Here's my toast. Now I'm ready to assemble. So what you're gonna do is you're going to put your egg mixture on top of the bread. I'm not showing you, let me show you. Egg mixture on the bread. You may even want to reserve a little bit more parsley or herb to put on top just to make it prettier. This is very rich, it's very filling. People are probably gonna want more. Okay, now here's my onion and mushroom mixture, and that's just gonna get placed on top. You can also roast maybe some tomatoes, those little cherry tomatoes, put it on a grill, or just roast them in the oven. And you're just gonna layer like this and serve it alongside. That'd be a really beautiful way to do it. Doesn't that look yummy? I should have saved some parsley for the top, but I wasn't thinking because I'm in a rush. So that's that. And then the extra little pièce de résistance is truffle oil. Truffle oil is readily available in most stores, in most grocery stores, and specialty stores. You don't have to get a very expensive one to get some flavor out, and you're just going to drizzle the top. You don't want to overdo it, but it does give you a little richer flavor and that je ne sais quoi that everyone's looking for that they don't typically get in most foods. So I'm going to sit here and eat this quickly before I go head out on my day. Probably work out and stuff today. Have my little cup of PG Tips tea, which I've already showed you how to make. I do hope that you enjoy this breakfast. Please try it. Try it on a weekend. Try it for brunch on a Sunday or a Saturday. It's delicious. It's belligerent. It's so delicious. So make sure you check out the website. I hope you like this video. Comment on it, like it, do whatever you want to do. Share it on Facebook with your friends. But I'll tell you what, if you try these scrambled eggs this way, you'll probably never want to eat them the other way again. They're really delicious, and it's kind of a more fun way to eat it. It's more grown up, more adult-esque. Anyway, check out the site, cookingwithkimberly.com. Please leave messages for me. I love to talk to you guys and find out what's going on in your heads and what you're looking for. And this is Kimberly Edwards. I hope you have a marvelous day. Eat deliciously, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye. Ciao.